What if I told you Alex EALA'S Cincinnati Open debut was about much more than just one victory? Because while the scoreboard may say 6-1 3-0, the real story is happening behind the numbers. Alex EALA is no longer simply a promising young tennis player from the Philippines. She is now knocking on the door of the world's top 20, and potentially something even bigger. And after her latest victory in Cincinnati, one question is becoming impossible to ignore. How high can Alex EALA actually climb? Just weeks ago, reaching the top 30 was already a major achievement. Then Alex shocked the tennis world in Washington. She defeated one elite opponent after another, including Jung Chinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and finally Jessica Pegula in the championship match. That incredible run gave Alex her first WTA singles title and earned her 500 ranking points. And those points completely changed the picture. On August 3rd, Alex officially entered the WTA top 20 for the first time in her career, rising to world number 20. Think about that for a moment. A Filipina player breaking into the top 20 of women's tennis after defeating some of the biggest names in the sport. This was not a lucky week. This was a statement. But Alex wasn't finished. She traveled to Cincinnati for another huge WTA 1000 event, and suddenly there was even more pressure, because now opponents were not looking at her as an underdog. They were looking at her as a threat, and that is a completely different situation. Alex received a first-round bye in Cincinnati, meaning her tournament officially began in the round of 64 against Romania's Elena Gabriela Rus. And there was an interesting storyline behind this matchup. Rus had beaten Alex in their previous meeting during the 2024 US Open qualifying tournament. So this was an opportunity for Alex to settle the score, and she did it in emphatic fashion. From the very beginning, Alex looked aggressive, focused, and completely in control. She took the first set 6-1. Then she continued her dominance in the second set, racing to a 3-0 lead. Rus was unable to find an answer, and eventually injury forced the Romanian player to retire from the match. So Alex EALA advanced to the next round of the Cincinnati Open. Now, some people might look at this result and say, well, Rus retired. How important can this win really be? But that misses the bigger picture. Alex didn't simply advance. She had already built a huge lead before the retirement. She had won 6 of the first 7 games. She converted all 5 of her breakpoint opportunities in the match, and she dominated the return points, especially on Rus's second serve. Those numbers tell us something important. Alex was not waiting for the match to come to her. She was taking control. And that is exactly the kind of tennis you expect from a player who believes she belongs at the highest level. But here's where the ranking story gets even more interesting. Before Cincinnati, Alex had already reached a new career-high position in the live rankings. She climbed to world number 18, 2 places higher than her official ranking of number 20. That movement happened because of changes, involving other players and the points they were defending. So even before her Cincinnati debut, Alex was already sitting at a new career high in the live rankings. And now, every additional win in Cincinnati could become extremely valuable. Because this is a WTA 1000 tournament. The deeper Alex goes, the more ranking points she can collect, and the more realistic a move toward the top 15, or even top 10 begins to look. Of course, we have to be careful here. A live ranking is not the same thing as the official ranking. The official WTA rankings are updated after the tournament week is completed. So Alex being number 18 in the live rankings does not automatically mean she has officially become 18 yet. But it does show just how quickly things are changing. And that is what makes her story so exciting. Just look at the journey. At the beginning of March, Alex was ranked around number 32. Then she reached a career high number 29 after Indian Wells. Her ranking later dropped because points from her breakthrough 2025 Miami run expired. Instead of allowing that setback to stop her, she kept fighting. She climbed back into the top 30. Then Wimbledon changed everything again. Alex reached the 4th round at the All England Club, defeating Renata Zarazua, Maya Joint, and defending champion Iga Swiatek before losing to Jasmine Paolini. That result pushed her to another career-high ranking of number 28. And then came Washington, the biggest breakthrough of them all. Alex EALA became the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour singles title. And she didn't do it by beating low-ranked opponents. She went through an extraordinary lineup of elite players. Jung Chinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula. That is an unbelievable path to a title. And the WTA itself highlighted just how historic that run was, noting that EALA defeated the tournament's top 3 seeds, Svitolina, Osaka, and Pegula, along the way. So when Alex walks onto the court in Cincinnati now, she carries something different. She carries belief. She carries confidence. And perhaps most importantly, she carries the belief that she can compete with anyone. That psychological change could be just as important as the ranking points. Because tennis is not only about forehands, backhands, serves, and fitness. It is also about believing that when the pressure arrives, you belong. And Alex appears to be developing that belief very quickly. But there is another reason Cincinnati matters. The US Open is coming, and Cincinnati is one of the final major opportunities for players to test themselves against the world's best before the final Grand Slam of the summer. So for Alex, this tournament is not simply about climbing the ranking. It is preparation. It is experience. It is momentum. And it could potentially set the tone for her US Open campaign. Imagine what happens if Alex continues winning in Cincinnati. Imagine her reaching the quarterfinals, or the semifinals, or even going all the way. Suddenly, we are not talking about whether Alex EALA can break into the top 20. We are talking about whether she can challenge the top 15 and eventually the top 10. And that possibility is no longer some crazy dream. It is becoming a realistic conversation. But there is still a long road ahead. The competition is brutal. At this level, every opponent can punish even the smallest mistake. And Alex will need to maintain her fitness, consistency, serve, movement, and mental strength. Her next challenge in Cincinnati will be another major test. And the pressure will only increase. Because now everybody knows her name. The Philippines knows her. The WTA knows her. And the top players know her. That changes everything. There is also an emotional side to the story. Alex has spoken about the growing spotlight around her, describing the experience as both heavy and fun. And honestly, that may be one of the biggest challenges of her next chapter. Because becoming successful is one thing. Staying successful while everyone is watching is something completely different. But if Alex continues to handle that pressure the way she has handled the biggest moments of 2026, then the ceiling could be incredibly high. From number 50 to the top 30 to the top 20. And now a career-high position around number 18 in the live rankings. That is not a normal rise. That is a rapid transformation. And the most exciting part? Alex EALA is only 21 years old. She has already made history for Philippine tennis. She has already won a WTA 500 title. She has already defeated multiple top 10 players. And now she is entering the biggest stretch of her season with confidence behind her. So the question is no longer, can Alex EALA become a great player? The question is, how far can she take this? Can she crack the top 15? Can she break into the top 10? Can she win another major WTA title? And could Cincinnati be the tournament where the next chapter of her incredible rise begins? One thing is certain. Alex EALA is no longer knocking quietly on the door of elite tennis. She is kicking it open. And if this momentum continues, the tennis world may soon have to get used to seeing one name much higher on the rankings. Alexandra EALA. If you're excited to see how far Alex can go in Cincinnati and at the upcoming US Open, let me know in the comments. Do you think Alex EALA can break into the WTA top 10 before the end of 2026? And if you're enjoying these Alex EALA updates, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.